Alright, boys and girls, today's lesson is the Unit 2 review. Our test will be taken in the next couple days, so I'm going to go over basically the stuff that you should know for the test. So just follow along. I'll go over just examples of similar questions on the test and kind of show you how I would do them and what I expect you to do, and then you'll be able to practice from your notes and from the study guide from the activity book and any other activity pages inside your activity book. So one of the things we'll talk about are multiply using any method, show your work. Very similar to what we do on Go Formative a lot with our questions. I just put a question up there, you solve it any way you'd like to solve it. So I'm going to do a couple for you here. I'm going to do 5 times 342. There's a couple different ways, a lot of different ways you can do it, but it just says show your work. Multiply it using any method, show your work. So I really don't care how you do it. I mean, I care. Of course I care how you do it, but how you choose to do it is up to you. So I'm going to do the shortcut method. I'm going to do 342 times 5. And I get 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 4 times 5 is 20. Plus my 1 is 21. Carry the 2. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17. So my answer is 1,710. Might as well do it one other method. Let me do the partial products. I'll do 342 times 5, and I'll draw my arrows. Just 300 times 5 is 1,500. 40 times 5 is 200. 2 times 5 is 10. Add together 1,710. Now that I did two different methods and got the same answer for each, I feel really good about it. So I'm going to get this out of the way. Another way you could solve using any method would be a little bit different. Let's say we'll do a 2 by 2 digit. I could do a shortcut method. I could say 2 times 0 is 0, 3 times 0 is 0. Then I put my 0 and I start with in the tens place this time, so 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1, 3 times 5 is 15, plus the 1 is 16, gives me 1,600. If I'm not sure if that's how the right way to do it, I could draw my square model, rectangle model. I could do 30 plus 2 here, and then 50 plus 0 here. 30 times 50 is 15 with 2 zeros. 2 times 50 is 100. Of course, these are each going to be 0. So basically, I'm adding 1,500 plus 100, give me 1,600. That was kind of an easy one, but but just don't forget about the 0, because it does just don't make it multiply by 5, because that 0 does change a lot of things. So I know that answer is right. On the test, you will see one that's stretched a little bit into a 1 digit by 4 digit number, which really should not be hard for you because you've done it, and it's pretty easy. But let's do 4 times 6,352. I'm going to do the rectangle model here, and I have 4 place values: 6,000 plus 300 plus 50 plus 2. Multiply them each by 4. Here I get 24 with 3 zeros. Here I get 12 with 2 zeros. Here I get 20 with a 0. Here I get 8. Add it all together. Whoop, didn't line that up very well. 200. 8 gives me 804. 24,408. And just to be sure about that, I'm going to also do it shortcut method. Gives me 8. 5 times 4 is 20. Carry the 2. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 2 is 14. Carry the 1. 24. Oh, I added wrong over here. See? 4 plus 1 is 5 there. So I should have had 25,400. See? You do it two different ways. You find out, oh, you did something wrong. So 6 times 4 is 24, plus the 1 is 25. So 25,408. All right, so on the test, make sure you are showing your work. And I would advise you, you'll have the time, I would advise you to do it a couple different ways. Another thing you might see on the test is it's going to ask you whether the following answers are true or false. Show your work to explain your thinking. Basically, they're going to give you a multiplication problem with an answer. So they might give you something that says 21 times 42 equals 850. And it says true or false. Okay? When they want you to show your work and explain your thinking, all you really do is work out this. Work out 21 times 42 and see if it's right. Okay? If it equals what the answer of 850 is, circle true. Okay, so let's work it out. 21 times 42, I'll do shortcut method. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Put my 0 down. 4 times 1 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. That gives me 2. 8. 882. My answer would be false. And how do I know that? Because I worked it out myself and got 882. And maybe you want to do one more method just to prove that it is wrong. Okay, you will have some like that. So basically, just work out the problems they give you. Don't try to rush through it. All right. Another type of problem you might see is something about two people working out a problem. So if I had person A and person B are both working out 15 times 12, and it shows all their work below and see what they did, and they both came up with different answers, what you'll need to do is you'll need to figure out what they did wrong or right. Okay? And maybe they both did it wrong. Maybe they both did it right because they had the same answer. But what you'll have to see all the work that they did below. That's why as a teacher it's so important you show your work, because then I can tell, okay, this person did it wrong because of this step, or this person did it wrong because of this step. And then you'll want to work out your own. So read the directions carefully, because there'll be some that talk about person A and B and how they had their answers, and maybe both are wrong, and then it's going to have you solve it yourself and show your work. Okay? So remember, do not rush through this test. Okay? You will see some that might say 23 times 46, and then has numbers below it, such as, let's see, it could have, let's see, 800, because that would be the 40 times 80 is 8,000, but I'm going to take away a number, so you have to figure it out yourself. And then it could be something like, we'll do this one next, would be something, and we'll do that one next. 20 times 6 is something, and then our last one is 6 times 3 is, oh, I did give it away. Oh no. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to find all this out. So just work it out on your own. Work it out on your own, and then put in the missing digits. Okay, this is 80 times 20, so it's 8,000. It should be 0. This one is, that one is 6 times 2 is 1,200. 4 times 3 is 1,200. And then 3 times 8 is 18. And then in the answer, it might be missing some things. Don't overthink it. Work it out yourself and figure it out. All right, and then you'll get some number stories, some word problems. If it says words that if it says about, then work on estimating. Okay, if it says about, do some rounding. So if I say there is a book sale at the library, the price for each book is, let's say, $3. If there are 442 books sold, about how much will be made at the sale. Explain how you use rounding to estimate. Well, you could just take 400, because 442 is closer to 400, multiply by 3 to give you 1,200. You could say it's about that much, or you could do that closer estimating that we talked about, where you take the 400 times the 3, give you 1,200, but then you take 42 and round that to 40, multiply that times 3 to give you 120, add the two together to give you 1,330. That'd be a much closer estimate. So that's how you just zoom in on your estimate a little bit. A little more work to estimate, but sometimes your answer gets a little closer. So remember the word about. You're going to see it written in bold on the paper. When it says about, that means used estimation, okay? Or rounding. Then you'll get somewhere there's some multi-step problems. So let's say John bought 21 bags of apples with 20 apples in each bag. He bought, let's see, 27 bags of pears with 35 pears in each bag. What is the difference in the number of the apples and pears? So you have to work out both problems, and then you subtract the two. And that's how you find the difference between the two. Do not rush through the test, because there's a lot of content in there, and a lot of showing your work, and a lot of explaining it. So, looking through the test here, I'd like to think that as long as you follow along and read each question carefully, and work really hard on it, and realize it's not a race, and take your time. That's the main thing. Take your time on this. Read everything. Good luck.